We have really. All right, this is weird. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor is coming to PS4 and Xbox One, so the last generation of consoles. This is dumb because the game barely works on newer consoles, so it's kind of odd that they're focusing on bringing it to last gen consoles. Obviously, I know it's for sales. More, there's a bigger install base for the PS4 and Xbox One, but when the game was plagued with so many issues, not working on PC too well. On the modern consoles, it kind of works, but it's like, you can't really play it all too well either. It feels like they really should just focus on making the next gen experience as good as it could be, and then maybe going back to the PS4, Xbox One version, or just canceling outright. We've seen Cyberpunk try to do this, and it just ended up horrible. That was a lot of people's first exposure to Cyberpunk was on the last gen consoles, and it just didn't work. It sucked. So I don't know if they can make it work, then that's good. But I still feel like they should focus on patching the next gen consoles way more than just making this last gen version.
Yeah, I mean, the article mentions from GameSpot that this isn't EA's first time going backwards. They did it with the PGA Tour. So, obviously a much lesser known game, all things considered. And I think that Star Wars Jedi Survivor has been very much well known as the game that, came out and a lot of people were excited for it. And then it just did not perform well, literally did not perform well. It was not running well on console and PCs. And I think the game is in a much better state now, obviously, but that's how the game should have been when it launched, even if it's still not 100% perfect, because even fucking Fallen Order is not 100% perfect. And I think that them going backwards and trying to release this game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, go for it. Fuck it. See what happens. I want to see what happens, because if it actually does run better and just works perfectly on the last gen consoles, then 100% the current generation version was just rushed out the door for no reason whatsoever, in my opinion. I think that games and gamers these days are very much they don't really pre-order games as much. I feel like especially for us. I feel like we don't really do that,
I was gonna say I only really pre-order Nintendo games at this point. That's because usually I know they're gonna be. We'll talk about more in Pikmin 4, but that games are basically always polished to extreme amounts. Plus, I like to get them physically, and that's more important to actually pre-order stuff physically. But yeah, when it comes to anything else, usually I literally wait day of or the day before when the review embargoes come out, and then I pre-order it for any pre-order bonuses. But at that point, I already know it's gonna be good, so that's when I do it. But yeah, it's something you kind of want to avoid,
Yeah, it's just, oh shit. It's just especially with a game like this that came out this year and it was so popular and a lot of people were looking forward to it, and then it came out and it just all hype and excitement sort of died down. Will I play it later this year? Who knows? Because the fucking schedule for this year of games is insane. I'll definitely try to buy it on Black Friday for maybe $30, maybe even less than that. Who the fuck knows what price it'll be at that point? But Jedi Survivor is definitely just the Jedi series of games is definitely EA and Respawn's biggest hitter, and for them to be hey, we're gonna bring it to older consoles for more people, because I know a lot of people they played it on the last gen consoles, but they don't have a Xbox Series X/S or a PlayStation 5, and they're well, shit, I can't play the game. So that'll hopefully give those people a chance to play it, and it works properly. Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. But, at this point, there's going to be a point where we have to drop last gen, because I do feel like it's kind of dragging down this generation of consoles. It's nice more people could play these things. But, I feel like a lot of the reason why people feel this generation is kind of underwhelming is because I feel like a lot of companies are kind of appeal to everyone. They try to appeal to the people that bought the next gen consoles, people that didn't buy the next gen consoles, PC enjoyers, they try to appeal to everyone. And I feel like it is hurting this generation a lot more than it usually does. So, I feel like at this point, we probably should just drop them. I mean, it's been 3 years at this point, and I do feel like PS5s and Xbox Series X's are pretty easy to get at this point compared to when they came out. I mean, it kind of is COVID's fault. I mean, it's COVID's fault for a lot of things, but, them releasing it in 2020 didn't help at all and has really slowed down the momentum of this generation of consoles. So, it's just been kind of interesting to see how all this is playing out. So, I guess we'll see whenever we actually do move on from the last gen consoles. I don't know if it's gonna be soon when we release the pro versions or whatever, but hopefully it's soon, because I do feel like it's kind of like hindering a lot of development at this point.
Yeah, they're putting money and resources into creating these games for the last generation of consoles, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think for a game like this that was, kind of rush out the door, not exactly running 100% properly on launch day, it's like, why are they doing this kind of thing? It's for money, obviously. So
yeah, it's always money.
But yeah, at some point we are going to have to drop the last generation of consoles. When will that be? I am hoping by next year, because obviously Marvel Spider-Man 2 is coming out exclusively on the PlayStation 5, along with a bunch of other upcoming first-party PlayStation games. And, I think that the other studios and the other developers, obviously they're not as big and as sort of, massive as Insomniac Games / Sony. So, they don't have that liberty to do that. But I get it. I get why they're doing it. It's sort of like the same thing when fucking Rayman Legends, like a month or even a few weeks after or from its release on the Wii U exclusively, it got delayed because they wanted to release it on everything else, which was understandable because the Wii U was a sinking ship
Bombed.
at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on from there to some entertainment stuff. So we got AMC Theater.